Emotions. Now, emotions is dealing with the man inside and out. And when I was reading the book, I really was impressed by the different angles that Pastor Jakes touched on. And I think it would be a great insight, not for just men, but also women. Let's get into it right here. We're going to go to page 28, starting off. I mean, the book starts off with so much fire, but let me just give you these quick gems. You know how I do. And this is the reason why I do the gems, is because it's so important to know what's in it. And then you got to say, I got to read it, because it's so many gems. So he says here, most men have no expansion joint. They feel so locked up into being good and right and together that they don't give themselves room to take risks and to fail. And then when they do the inevitably fail, as we all do, they're crippled by their failures. But the human factor is unavoidable. All the more reason why we must know and take ownership of our weaknesses. If we are to remain whole and grow purposely, then we should assume that there will be times when we fall, fail, and flounder on our journey. So many men feel pressure to have the answer to be competent in all areas, especially those arenas perceived as indications of masculinity. This is good. He says, such as sports, mechanical, technical abilities, and love making. And so, what I love about that part is that as a man, as you get older, you go through different things in life. And those couple of things that he touched on is so true. But the main thing I wanted to say was the failure part, which I felt like so many men are taught on how to be better, to be providers, to be the best protector. But when it comes to dealing with failure, that lesson is always skipped. Let's go to page 36. This is good. Now he's talking about when King Saul came to pick out the next king. And it was one of Jesse's sons. Now Jesse had a few sons, and this is how T. Jakes attacks. He says, David was the 8th son of Jesse, his father, the youngest child. He tended sheep, while his brothers had seemingly more exciting occupations. They were fighters, but he was only a babysitter for a group of musky, dank sheep. He doesn't seem to be the favorite child of his father, and most of his brothers see him more as an errand boy than a contributing sibling. His father doesn't consider him when Samuel comes looking in Jesse's house for a king. Saul comes into Jesse's house looking for the king. They don't even mention David. They're like, oh yeah, he in the back somewhere. And the whole time that David is tending to the sheep, he's the one who is the king. So he goes on. He said his dad, which is Jesse, brought everybody before the prophet in hopes that one of them might meet with the Lord approval and end up as king over all of Israel. You know that would have made Jesse famous, the father of the king. That would have been a real status builder. Perhaps he himself wasn't sure of his own identity and needed an external boost to elevate himself. Jesse had to put his best foot forward, so he guarded the support of his sons and brought all of them before the prophet, all but one. And that one son, which was mentioned, which was David. And so he talks about how the relationship with David throughout this entire book, through David's struggles as being the man, even with Bathsheba and all the different things that David had to go through. I'm telling you, this book is different, and I think it's necessary for your teenage son, or quite frankly, any grown adult man, it's that good and it's necessary. It's one of those reads that need to be a part of your library. I'm gonna get out your way, but this is 312, and for you guys, I'm a poet, so this is good. David was a poet as well. He had multiple talents, but he says here with men, he says God can handle us no matter where we meet Him on our journey. One of my favorite David Psalms expresses not only his fear but uncertainty, but also his trust and hope in God's goodness. Psalm 27 opens up with, "The Lord is my life and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Or whom shall I be afraid?" And David continued on this bold vein of proclaiming God's faithfulness and protection through various trials and adversity. So what he's saying to me in this particular part of the book is, even when you're going through different parts of manhood, you need God to be there every step of the way. And he goes on, he says, By the end of Psalm, at the end of this time, he says he admits that he would have fainted had he not believed that he would have seen the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. If David almost fainted, had it not been for his faith, then what about you and me? And I like that because David was a king. David went through so much. And we all have a king inside of us, and we have to apply the same principles that David used and that he went through to our lives sometimes. So guys, this is T.D. Jakes, Key Emotions. I'm telling you right now, the book is fire. It is an old classic. T.D. Jakes got a lot of hits, but this one right here is specifically for men. And I'm telling you, it's something that will blow your mind if you get a chance to read it. Alright guys, well, until next time, my name is Ambition the Poet.